Welcome to We Connect, and thank you so much for joining me on this program once again. Sujini is a geneticist at a company called Xcode. Now, this whole thing about genetics, DNA, all very complicated to people like you and me, but that's exactly why we've asked her to come onto our show today, to try to help us to understand better what it is she does and what this is all about. Thank you, Sujini, so much for joining me. Now, such a big word, geneticist and genomes, and I'm concerned, and I'm frankly a bit confused about what this is all about. Let's start by asking you what it is that you actually do as a geneticist.
We actually analyze a person's DNA.
Okay.
A person's DNA is the building block in the body, and this DNA would give us an indication about the diseases, risks which he or she has inherited from the family, from either members of the family.
Right.
So we are able to analyze the genetic risks to predisposition risks towards the lifestyle diseases like diabetes, CVD, obesity and stroke, which are predominantly prevalent in the Indian population.
Right.
So why lifelong wellness? It's a program which we offer to bring people back to their healthy ways of eating, because they need to understand the genetic risks plus the environment that plays a major role in the disease onset.
Right. So what you're saying is that if I have this disease or that disease, then really I can blame it on my ancestry, can I?
No, it's not 100% on your inheritance from the family,
right?
But it's the lifestyle that also matters. Science is going forward in its pace to understand how much of genetics plays a role and how much the environment plays a role in the onset of diseases, specifically the chronic diseases that is affecting us mostly. So we're not very clear in what proportion the inheritance of genes plus the environment plays a role in the disease onset.
Right.
So we are trying to communicate that you carry a genetic risk towards a disease. It's not the end all. You still have a choice to make a lifestyle change and live a healthy life.
Right.
Because today's environment is alarming.
Absolutely.
Where we have got into rapid urbanization, modernization, and we've forgotten the healthy ways of eating, and physical activity has been reduced to nil in most of the cases of today's urban population. So we're trying to bring that, to make them understand what their genetic risks are, irrespective of which level it is, whether it's high risk or moderate risk. It still can be, their lifestyle changes can help them prevent or delay the onset of the disease.
Right. You just talked about urban, the urban population. So are you saying that our rural population is far healthier than all of us in the city, or have they got it right and have we not got it right?
Good question though, but yes, the rural population is also fast catching up with these lifestyle diseases because of the ease of automation, in fact getting used to all the kind of equipments that are available in the market today. So there's a lot of transition from the foods that our ancestors used to eat, the methodologies we used to cook those foods, and all that has changed even in the rural India. So rural India is also catching up with this chronic disease epidemic.
Right.
It's not way beyond the urban population.
Right. So in your experience then, is it good for me to have my, DNA tested? Or is it a good idea to have that and then to have a knowledge in advance that, okay, thanks to my ancestors, I could be susceptible to whatever the the lifestyle diseases are. Is that a good idea? Do you find that people are doing this? Would you recommend that people do this?
Yes, it's pretty much a technology that is available today. So it's to know whether you might have the disposition, you might not have the predisposition. So it's good to know what your risk levels are. You might not be leading a healthy lifestyle, and this may be just a trigger to get you back to the healthy lifestyle. Right. So it's a good idea to actually get to know what's in store, and it's no harm to know what is in store for you.
Right. Do you find that as Indians, people are coming up and actually doing this, or is it something that nobody quite understands what it's all about? I mean, people like myself, you don't know, should you really go get yourself tested?
Yes, awareness creation is a challenge, yes, and people are getting to know that this is available and they have to get to know what it is rather than just blindly blaming it on family history, just blindly
Good
blaming
excuse.
it. Yeah, good excuse that I've
excuse.
inherited it, and you can follow adverse lifestyles and blame it on the family
Exactly,
history.
precisely.
No, so people are beginning to understand, yes, I could have it tested and then I can do whatever steps I have to take can be taken at the right time.
Right.
Because people don't realize it unless they go to a doctor to have their diagnosis done. So this gives us an indication of what you can do, when you can do it, and how you can prevent it.
Right. I mean, when we go to doctor, they'll ask, did your grandfather, what's your sort of, what did your father have blood pressure? Did your mother have so-and-so, so-and-so? Did somebody have cancer? Did somebody have this, that, and the other? Many times in this day and age, we don't even know what our ancestors
or family
had.
members had. Yes,
I mean, I don't think they knew either, you
Yes.
know, so it's very difficult. Tell me, if you actually want to sort of get your DNA done, is it a big process? Does it involve lengthy procedures, or what do they actually do?
It's not a lengthy procedure. It's we do most of our marketing is done online. So you have to go online and register. Once you register, we send you the saliva kit to the address that you have mentioned.
Wow, okay.
Once the saliva kit reaches you, you have to collect your saliva in the tube and as per the instructions that are given in that. When your the sample kit is ready, you have to schedule a pickup for the our courier agent to be picked up, and it's shipped to the laboratories where it's actually getting assessed.
Okay.
So it's just a 3-step process for you to register, and the kit reaches you, and then you collect your saliva and you send it back to the laboratory. All this is
you're making it sound really quite easy, because
Yeah.
I was wondering if it would be a big long procedure.
No, and then the laboratory does the assessment, and then we
Come back with the bad news.
Not all the time, it's just
Okay.
not all the time. So you get to know what your predisposition risks are after you send the saliva. So this, from the customer point of view, it's only a 3-step procedure.
Right. How much does it cost?
If we are currently doing the lifestyle diseases, as I mentioned, the package, the value package currently costs us 10,000 rupees.
So I would have to pay 10,000 rupees to, that's expensive. And I mean, I'm not saying that there probably are those kind of costs involved, but for an ordinary person, for you to be putting out 10,000 rupees, do you think in your mind that that would actually in point of fact be worth it for me to know what I could be predisposed to?
Yes, better late than never, because prevention is better than cure. And
Indeed.
you would be definitely shelling out that amount of money when the disease sets in.
Much more, I'm
Much
sure.
more,
Very,
yeah.
very much more.
Yeah, much more. So
Right.
it gives you an indication of, it's all right if you have low risks, but at least you have the trigger in the mind and you work towards it. So I pretty don't think that it's expensive when compared to seeing after the disease sets in. It's all a complicated procedure. Yeah.
That's quite right.
Yes.
At least you are forewarned in a way. Out of all of these diseases, all the lifestyle diseases that you've referred to earlier, I was just wondering, which would you think is the most prevalent in India? I know diabetes because we've done a lot of shows on diabetes, but would that be one of the actual, the biggies?
Right now, as of 2012 March, the statistics says that 1 in 4 adults, Indian adults, have hypertension. And hypertension is the leading cause for the majority of the deaths due to cardiovascular and stroke.
Right, right.
So I would rate hypertension as the highest potential risk factor, which is so prevalent amongst 1 in 4 of us.
Right.
Following which, I mean, it's a trigger, so it sets you to diabetes
To
and
other things as
cardiovascular
well.
diseases and stroke.
Right. Sujini, I'm going to ask you to hang on for just a very short while. We'll take a very quick break here and reconnect, and then we'll get right back with you, so you please don't go anywhere.